Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Scarefest TV. Original broadcast date, July 1st, 2022. Happy Independence Day weekend. So I figured the fireworks should start, like, right down the road here in about 10-15 minutes or so, and we'll get to hear that all night, and have the dogs hide under chairs and cows jump fence and all that good stuff. Country living at its best. Tonight's episode is our monthly council meeting. That's where us, Brandon and Nicole are on tonight. Adrian Elder is on. When we just get together, we talk about what's been going on in the last month, and I should have told her to leave the lamp alone because now there we go. Okay, that's perfect. You look great. So, where do we want to start? Well, I tell you one place I want to start with, just to give people a heads up. I know that Brandon has become aware of some other things that will be going on downtown during the Scarefest, and we try to bring that to everybody's attention.
Jason Aldean hasn't been announced yet. So
yet.
We do have that going for us.
Give him time. He loves Scarefest.
Oh, I think he loves my wife.
Don't worry, there'll be other country music folks in town, I'm sure.
I know you said we will be dealing with the blue and white game again on Friday night, which was the blue and white game wasn't a problem until afterwards when the police shut down Lexington for 2 hours.
The only problem the blue-white game gives us is that it makes the parking rate go up if you use the structure, or not the structure, but the lot across the street. But not if you get there early. So the advice is that if you get there early on Friday, I mean, you're not really going to see a big upcharge. It'll be standard parking, which I believe the rate's $10, and you can park there as long as you want to. Now, we'll do the same thing as we did last year, though, where I basically make a big diagram of where you can park and where it's at relative to the center.
You know what would be really great? If Lexington Center would do that.
It would be nice, actually. They probably will. Yeah, but they want people to park at their lot. They don't want people to know about the other lots.
No.
It's a monopoly. Well,
It's wonderful to work with us. They really, there's a big difference between Rupp Arena and Lexington Center. I just want to say this, like the Lexington Center, which is Central Bank Center now, they want us to have a good time and have these cheaper parking rates, but the parking lot is owned by a lot of people. And Rupp Arena sometimes takes the cake, and we can't change that.
Yeah, but we don't have to share the entryway with the blue and white game again this year. So the sign is all ours as of Friday. So we don't have to so you won't have a bunch of people in blue and white on one side that have like 30 feet, and then us on the other side that have like 3 inches to walk through the front.
No, it's completely different. Brandon and I went to an event for kids the other day, and we went through a entryway that's completely different. So if you haven't been to Central Bank Center, there is actually now a connector. We were up in the air a couple years ago as to whether the Hyatt would ever connect to the center again. It does connect only during events. So during events, they have made a breezeway. We learned that last week. And there is a breezeway when events are open. Now, depending on what's happening at the center and Rep Arena is the parking fee. And then we have a different entryway completely. So we'll never have the mashup that we had last year, right? Like, I'm here for Scarefest. I'm here for the country music concert. And you being in the same line and not knowing what line you're in, that will never happen again. They're completely different entrances about several hundred feet apart.
Yeah, the Hilton walkway is supposed to be done too. And then I guess the only other thing besides the blue and white game is until Jason Aldean finds out that my wife's going to be there again, is some sort of like child dance competition, I think it is.
Toddlers and tiaras again?
Well, I mean, not to the same extent, I don't think. But so it's going to be down on the first level. So, yeah. But I think we're going to have access from both sides, like so the High Street and Vine Street. And the Hilton, you'll be able to walk if everything goes to plan. It's pretty much straightforward on over.
And that's only Sunday. So the great thing is that all children mostly love some aspect of Halloween, and I think that the toddlers and dance teams will want to come to our event also. So I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Yeah, if Jason Aldean announces, I will definitely put a post out. And I know how much he's a fan of my wife, apparently.
Okay, Brandon's had a hard day, and Jason Aldean is awesome, and
I swear to God,
apparently there was
if he
some
walked in
rumors
my
that
house
he
right
was not
now,
happy about there being a HorrorCon there.
if the dude walked into my house right now,
that's what he's throwing out. Jason Aldean personally didn't really care for us, maybe, but his team did because we traded tickets last year, and I sent some of my staff for front row, and they sent some of their staff to hang out at our con, and we did that deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I could walk right past him and not know him, so I don't know. If he walked
Well,
in
me
my house,
too. But Brandon just dropped Jason Aldean.
I don't know. It's my favorite topic every year when we talk about it.
Well, I mean, it came up. So, now to I'm trying to come up. Adrian, you need to write me up a diplomatic answer when I'm answering people in the Scarefest messages, asking us to. They pull some celebrity out of thin air. Most of them I've never heard of them, but sometimes I have. But are you going to get, or can you get so and so? And we've tried to explain, and the people that watch the show know that pretty much if we're not in some type of discussion by now, it's pretty hard to get things going in time for the thing. But so I need a diplomatic
The answer
way.
is, can we get them?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, it kind of depends. Like sometimes,
You did say Adrian.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'll shut up.
Well, I wanted to say I'm not very happy with Facebook lately because it's been really screwing up on my messenger notifications. Like, it'll say I have no messages for Scarefest, and then when I switch over, there's like 6. So I want to apologize to everybody because Wes has been answering most of the messages.
Yes, apologize to the.
Breaking apology to everyone who's gotten yes, no. And
I did that one time. One time I did that.
A lockbox of you don't know them
yeah,
because Facebook deleted my whole page after 14 years.
yeah. But essentially what I tell people, especially if they're people that don't really interact very much, I say, thank you very much for the suggestion. We're booked for the year, but I will send it over to the booking team for thoughts of next year.
That's what I'll start saying.
Don't
Yeah.
let verbatim what I say. And sometimes I tell people, well, we're pretty well booked for the next 10 years.
Let me throw that out there though, that like if you really have an in with somebody that is absolutely amazing, there's a chance.
If you know Ozzy, let us know.
If you know Ozzy Osbourne, personally,
I mean,
we'll take that.
Let me explain to everybody like how booking works. And so here's kind of the way it rolls. So we have an idea going into it, and we start like reaching out early, and so that's like the first round of announcements. And then we start progressing. Like we'll reach out and have conversations, and then we'll do the second round of announcements. Now there's a whole series of like other announcements that happen pretty much usually after July, where maybe they're just kind of things that pop up. Like there's just conversations that happen, or like somebody will shoot me a message, or I'll kind of look at what we've got and be like, oh hey, well it'd be kind of cool if we got this person, and then like I'll shoot a message out. So it's kind of like the first 6 months, it's a nice like planned, concerted effort, and then the last 6 months is like Thunderdome, where anything can happen, and a lot of stuff just sometimes you don't even plan on it working out. It just goes through. Like we just closed on a deal today that I was planning on announcing for 4th of July because I didn't have enough time to do anything tonight. So yeah, I mean, there's just it's just ever changing, and like things that you don't suspect, and things that you don't plan, like just kind of happen. It's weird. The last 6 months, yeah.
I would like to point out and let everybody know that Brandon is not doing his best Brandman impression, but there is a light directly in front of his face. So if he looks like he is looking everywhere but the camera, it's because he's looking straight into a light.
I think the camera's up there.
No, I actually when I talk, like, you guys have to excuse me. I've slept maybe 4 hours this week, I think, and this is it's not related to Scarefest at all, but like, in case, and I talk about it sometimes, but like, social work life is always fun, and May and June are like my social work months. And those months, like, all I do is like help people. Oh, I think our dog is humping on the couch. Oh, that's not the picture. So all I do is help people and work on horror fans and stuff. So, have you broke it up?
Yes, I broke up the humping of the male dogs.
So yeah, if I'm like glancing around and things, like that's kind of the natural ambiance of things because I haven't slept very much this week. Yeah.
If you wanted to know what it was like to live in a Twilight Zone, it's sort of what we work in our normal lives.
Yeah, I don't think people understand like that. I can get a call like randomly at like 8 o'clock at night, and somebody's homeless.
Or midnight, or 1, or 3, or
like 4. Yeah, it's a 24/7 experience.
Last night I was watching a video on a documentary about mental health in America's prison systems, and they were interviewing this one guy, and he was covered in tattoos that like a 3-year-old probably did by the looks of him. There's like a SpongeBob tattoo anyway, and he had this big gnarly scar on his stomach, and he had that because they cut him open because he was swallowing ink pens. So they had to go in and get him out. Right.
I mean, that's mild.
And that's, I was going to say, and when I thought that, I immediately thought of the day Brandon's like, I've had a day, people swallowing spoons, and I was like, spoons?
This week, somebody swallowed a screw, threw it up, and then put it back in her mouth and swallowed it again. And that was like one of the things that was vetted in like throughout this house's incoming calls. We both work at different agencies, but it's just wild. It stems from relationship problems to dating to ripping out your own screens to get around your cameras. Like it's just wild. But that's neither here nor there because this is Scarefest.
I think I need to add social workers to Heroes Day. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. That is a stupid thing on my part.
You're an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking, but I probably
should totally like add them. All social workers, like what?
See, now you said that on the air, and okay, and now it's going to fact and bite my ass. I just know it. Everybody,
social workers.
Let's.
Or now, if you can prove you're a social worker at the gate, they give none of us cards. If you can prove it with a card, you're in.
Okay.
I'll just say that right now.
We proved it by measuring the bags under your eyes.
Okay.
And the wrinkles on your
Let's go to commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll try to get back on the topic at hand, which is the Scarefest. Everybody, we'll be right back.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And everybody, welcome back to Scarefest Television. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what entertainment you can expect to see at the Scarefest. And cue Nicole.
So this year, like if you were there last year, we had this beautiful big stage at the front of the con. And last year we had to share the spine and all those things. So our ticketing was next to it. There was a few things we learned from last year. I'm looking over here. We had the food and the tickets and all these things near that entertainment. We're changing that this year. So this year we understand that those things need to not be there to distract. We've moved them. We've also placed 3 stages in the middle of the floor. So we have a stage for speakers, right? We have a stage for circus indie. We have a stage for a magician that we're bringing this year. Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, magician,
Illusionist.
A lot of people that have been to Scarefest in years past, it's Reed Masterson. He's done a lot at Raw's Opera House in Cynthiana. Wes is familiar, and also the very first Scarefest in 2008, he was there with Dean from Wicked World, and they had worked on things together. So he is a veteran when it comes to Scarefest.
Right. If you're from Central Kentucky, you know who Reed Masterson is.
And Reed, you need to call me. We're going to talk. 859-338-2514. Everybody's got it now. Everyone in the world has it already. It's not news. But anyway. We also have belly dancers that are going to dress in themed costumes of all the iconic horror movies for belly dance. We've got the Twirling Twins again. Does that scare you?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to picture Leatherface belly dancing. I'm sorry, it's.
Well,
I'm not really right.
Before I talk about the Twirling Twins. I am trying to get together in this, I'm hoping I can do it, a Leatherface dance-off.
There you go.
As a contest this year.
Yeah.
So last year we had the Scream Queen contest, the trivia, the costume contest. We had all these contests. But it was actually Gun Media that suggested it, and then they forgot they suggested it, and said, we should do a Leatherface dance-off because we're doing this Leatherface game. And then we're like, the game's not coming out in time. Let's not do that. I was like, well, a Leatherface dance-off is awesome. So let's do that. So I want to do the Leatherface dance-off, the Scream Queens, the belly dancers, the ballroom house like we had last year, the Twirling Twins hanging from the ceiling. We've got Circus Indie.
Right, so Scott, and then we'll be back, and then I got to be honest with you. Like, I've watched Reed on videos and stuff, and I've never seen him in person. And that was before my tenure at Scarefest, and like I'm super excited about this, and like I was saying before, if you're in Kentucky, like you know who Reed is, so we've got a lot of people, and I mean he's a celebrity illusion.
He's performed in 48 states. He's been on every major television news network that there is. Like he's amazing.
Like, and everybody knows him here. And so now, if you've never been to Scarefest and you've never watched Reed, we are shelling out, getting him here, making sure that everybody gets to see him. And I personally, I plan on making it out and watching that one.
Well, and I just want for whether you're in line for an autograph, or a signature, or a photo op, or watching something, or watching your own kids, or your paramour, or whoever the F it is, be in a contest, like at every given moment, you could be watching something going on or interacting with somebody, like doing something really cool.
All right, so the goal last year is that...
And I'm going to stagger those.
Something we hadn't really done before was, create basically over 100,000 square foot of just something going on constantly. So like, I know when I go to a show, I always look like for what's going on. Like you walk through the vendors, like you go to the celebrities, like, you do your photo ops, like all that stuff. But having entertainment and having things to keep people engaged, that was our first for us last year. As far as like on the scale that we've done it. Circus Envy had always done before, and we had things like here and there, but we really put a lot of emphasis on it last year. And this year, I think we've really gone for the gusto, with Reed, Circus Envy coming back, the Twirling Twins coming back, and really kind of building up that show. Like, it's not going to be something where you come in and like you make it through the rows and you hit the slabs and you're done. At 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, like there's going to be a performance like that you're not going to want to miss, and it's going to be scattered out through all 3 days. So what we've really tried to do is create a plan that's going to be across all 3 days. That you get there, there's something to do throughout the day, and it's not just you come and like hit the vendors and the sleds and you're out.
Well, let me say this too. I went to festivals growing up where there was so much going on that I couldn't hit all the things I wanted to do. And there's not just that performance stuff he's talking about and the photo ops and all that. There is a film festival going on the entire weekend where you can go over and watch this Wes. That's this whole thing, like this film festival that is going on across the street. And then you also have Axes with Killers. No other con that I know of is doing these super personalized things with celebrities. I mean, this is, and I have not even gotten to do one fully on my own because I put it on, but to be able to buy a ticket to spend an hour like in a small area like a bowling lane or a axe throwing lane with a celebrity for a whole hour, drink beer, don't drink beer, whatever, but throwing axes or bowling, that is something I've never seen at a con. I think it's special.
Well, I agree.
And it's a special op that's never been offered. And people have loved it. It's been amazing.
I think that for the last several years, like, especially Nicole, and I know a lot of people and our staff, we couldn't do it without them. But Nicole puts a lot of effort into a lot of these events. And you've got all the after hours stuff. And essentially, we start like Thursday, and then it goes all the way until Sunday night when, everything ends with us going down to the Thriller Parade, which we don't put on. That's a Lexington thing. But one thing I'd like to add to that is we've been to a lot of shows this year and just kind of checking out how other people do things. And, it's really cool to get to go to another show because you actually get to experience things from the other side of the aisle, you know. And one thing that I've noticed, exactly what Nicole was just saying, is these kind of things really don't happen. And like Brandon was saying, you know, you go to these shows, you make it through the vendor room, you go see your celebrities, and then maybe there's an after party, or everybody's gonna get beer and hang out by the pool later. And those are great things to do, and we did those in the earlier years of Scarefest, but this is going to... No, some people hang out at the Hyatt pool, but mostly it's just out in front of the Hyatt.
But, you know, we you know, the other thing too is that, I mean, that's something that we pay for, and we
don't get back.
Well, I mean, no, it's something we treat like we've kept. If you still look online, like, we have worked painstakingly to keep our ticket prices, I think, below other shows.
Yep.
And I mean, and I do mean painstakingly.
Sure, that's much.
It's because, like, you know, we really want everyone to come out and be able to enjoy this, and we're all getting hit by inflation and prices and things like that.
Yes.
But like, we've maintained, like, we held true this year that we were going to maintain our prices from last year, and we've invested in making sure that people have a good time, and that means taking money that, you know, and making sure that we are bringing in, you know, entertainment and all those things that, like, we don't sell tickets for that. We don't try to make money off that. That's something that we try to build into the experience for everybody.
Yeah, and you know, another thing a lot of shows don't do is, we got a lot of comments last year. Everybody that is on Scarefest TV, we all are on the floor. We're at the show. We're always visible. Every once in a while, you know, you might have to go into an office for money things or contract things, but for the most part, we want to be visible. We want to talk to everybody. We want constant feedback, and that's why we make ourselves so available. Like Nicole just said, oh, here's my number. Everybody has it. Everybody's already had it. And that's true. I mean, you know, at any time, we want to know what people want to see, what you liked, what you didn't like. For years, everybody wanted karaoke, and we were pretty resistant to it. And it's still, you know, something funny, but
I recant on that. I was wrong.
Yeah, it was.
I did it. Everyone loved it.
And I didn't really wasn't crazy about the idea myself either. But you know, there's a lot of things that go into making the show that like Brandon said, we do, and it's not profitable, but we want to set our show apart and really be a fan-based, community-based, and built event. Like, the show is for everyone. It's not just for us. So, yeah.
Okay, let's take our next commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have more about the Scarefest.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. I'm going to throw a couple things in here since it's the bottom of the half-hour mark of no celebrity announcements tonight. Just quit asking in the chat room. No celebrity announcements. But I do want to give some reminders. Central Kentucky Mystical Market coming up July 16th and 17th. You can look that up on Facebook, find out more about that. Next week we have Ty Shoot coming on from the Smoky Mountain Fan Fest, one of our favorite little festivals in the area. And
so excited about going to that.
And what's that?
I'm excited about going.
Oh, well, yeah. You're taking a vacation that week and going for a week.
I'm actually not. My son is in a dance performance the day before.
Oh,
so
okay.
Well, drive up Friday. Vacation camp.
Then on the 15th, Brian Bremer of Pumpkinhead fame is coming on the show. And I just want to go ahead and give everybody a heads up on that. That's about all we have announcement-wise, except Adrian has something she wants to share with you.
And Brian is awesome. So you all mark your calendars for the 15th because he's going to be a super, super fun guest. Two things. The giveaway that we talked about for the bust of Freddie, the custom-made bust by Joe Parrish. I pulled the order list and I use a random number generator, and I already made a post about this, but Brandy DeLong was the person who won the Freddie bust. So yay for Brandy. And I think she was like, I think it was the 113th order or something out of like, I don't want to give anything away, but over 700 orders. So it's pretty awesome to see. The other thing, I've not made a post about this one yet, and this is mostly going to be directed at our vendors. But I do want to go ahead and let you all know because it's really, really cool. So a lot of you are familiar with the artist Terrence Muncie. He has had a booth at Scarefest. He did a really cool Evil Dead poster for us last year. And Terrence is, I'm going to try to put this up here. He has created this. It's called Design with Your Heart. And essentially what it is we are going to recruit our vendors, creators, artists, sculptors to create an original piece, and then we will have a silent auction at Scarefest. So everybody can come up on Friday and Saturday and write down your bids for the silent auction and win a piece of custom art from our participating vendors. So I think that that is an amazing idea. And then I'm not exactly sure on the details right now, but I believe the auction will close approximately an hour before the end of the show on Saturday. So we're going to work out the details on that, but I am really excited. Like I said, it will be a charity event, and once we have selected a charity cause to receive those donations, then we'll let everybody know specifically what it's for. Right now, all we know is it's probably going to be something for animals, a local animal charity.
It's awesome.
That's all that.
Maybe Nicole will have some fun.
Okay, couple things from the chat room. One of which has to do with what you asked, so I'll just go ahead and put it out there.
So Meredith?
Yeah, Meredith wants to know, can staff donate art also?
Yes, so I actually just asked Terrence about that yesterday. And the thing is he said, yes, absolutely, staff can donate pieces. The only thing is the vendors that participate, Terrence is making t-shirts, and he is going to custom make a t-shirt for all of the participating vendors with their names on them. So if staff or even fans want to donate a piece of art to the silent auction, you can, but just the t-shirts are going to be made for the participating vendors.
Okay. And there was one of my chat room monitor here did not tell me who actually asked this, but we're going to tell you one more time. No, the celebrities and all of us will not be at the Hyatt. The Hyatt would not cut us any type of deal. They would not give us any leeway this year. The Hilton is our official hotel, so if you're one of those people that likes to lurk in the lobby and watch people walk by, the Hilton will be your best bet. But no, the Hyatt, we are not in the Hyatt's good graces, and they are not in ours. So I just want to put that out there.
We didn't do anything to get out of their.
Thank you, Adrian. Yes, we did not do anything except for we are not Keeneland.
Yeah, we are not Keeneland. I don't mean to put any diabolical emphasis on it. I'm just going to tell you they want the catering business.
They want catering.
Yes, they want the catering business.
Directly quote, they want the catering. And we are not catering food in that time period.
No. And you know what? I want to just hotels are ridiculous. And anybody that works with, I mean, we have some really awesome folks that work with us at the hotels. Like Dave at the Hilton is amazing. Sorry, Apollo's getting all guard dog on me. And then the Clarion, the Clarion is excuse me, I'm doing a thing.
Everyone at the Clarion is amazing. I work with them every month. They're just beautiful people.
But yeah, hotels, we looked at getting a space for something, and I want to say it was going to be about 5,000 square feet or something like that, at a hotel. I won't say the name, but it wasn't one of the hotels that we're working with or have worked with in the past. It was a different place. $15,000 for 2 days. $15,000.
Yeah, it's sort of like wedding prices for everything.
Yeah, like what for 5,000 square feet? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah.
By the way, my wedding cost $5,000, and that included my dress.
Yeah, I think
it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Wait, which wedding? You all had 3.
I just traded a mule for Anita. So.
We had 2. One in the mountains of North Carolina, and one in Lexington, Kentucky, at the Kentucky Theater.
Didn't you get married at the courthouse also? Or is that something?
That was a different marriage.
Oh. I was going to say, I wasn't insinuating Nicole's married about.
That was years ago. That was
married
before
by
Brandon.
multiple times, though. She's married Brandon more than once. No divorces.
I married Brandon twice. But the second one was only $5,000 with a very badass ball gown, invitations. It was like total cosplay, marquees, Ghostbusters doing this with the proton packs as we walked out. We looked on popcorn, and we walked out into the sea of zombies that is like Lexington Stroller Parade. Like it could not have been more perfect. But it was $5,000, and that's a cheap wedding.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
what is cheap? So we did that.
What else do we need to talk about? We've talked about entertainment. We've talked about comings and goings from the.
Wait. The last thing I want to say is nobody that's going to ask this question is going to answer, like, going to be here. But say something about the Robert England freaking photo ops and lines and VIPs and that, all that.
Yeah, you're right. So pretty much every Scarefest TV between now and the show, we're definitely going to need to mention this. Right now, any and everything that you need to know about Robert is going to be posted on the Scarefest group Facebook page and pinned at the top once it is available. We are still working on group and multi-photo ops and things like that. We are getting closer.
And his team is awesome, but they put that stuff out. We can't just
exactly. So, all of this stuff, we have to wait on communications from people also. So, with that,
and we will never delay it.
Right, exactly.
If they tell us that day, bam, it's out that day.
Exactly. So as soon as we know. But like I've said in the past, when it comes to just all sorts of different things, some things do change. So we don't want to put something out there and be like, this is how it's going to work, give you all the details, and then for any reason it changes. And then that'll just cause confusion because you may not see the updated version of what's going on. So we just want to make sure that between meeting with the center, with Robert's team, everybody, it is absolutely concrete, and that is how it's going to be without any major unforeseen incidents before we put that information out there. So,
what's that look?
Hold on, I'll show you.
Oh, your dog? It's your dog. I thought it was you were reading a note.
No.
Girl, I have 50 animals in this house. You think I care about what your Rottweiler's doing?
He's laying on the couch with his butt up in the air, and he's just growling out the window.
I have 14 possums and 1,000 other animals. No, really. In this house, that's what I freaking do. I rehab possums. I take care of pets. There's 100 animals in this house. I love you so much, Adrian, and I never care what your dog is doing.
Yeah, well, I'm saying the same way about children. Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's be ahead of schedule for once. Let's do our final commercial break of the show. We'll come back, give you Bonehead Weekly's review of Old, I will believe was the name of the movie. Be right back.
Horror. Movie. Fans. For. Life. On Facebook. Find us. For watch parties. For news. For memes. For friends. For life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. This week's review, it's pretty bad. Man, I'm trying my best to think of positive things to say about this movie, but I didn't like the way it was. I didn't like the script. It's a novel idea, as in interesting, different. Be a good Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, Tales something. But for a 100-minute movie, it's not very good. And this week, I'm reviewing the movie Old. And I felt old and older and older watching it. If you're not familiar with it, it's from M. Night Shyamalan. It's based on a graphic novel, Sandcastle, by Frederick Peters. What it is about it's a family. The mom and dad are going through some stuff. They have 2 young kids. And they go to this resort where everybody's really nice to them for any explicable reason. And the guy comes over and you can see, we find out that the mom and dad are going to split up. And this is kind of their last hurrah with their kids. We also find out later the mom's had an affair and the dad knows, but he isn't saying anything. Yada, 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 cliche, cliche, cliche. So they end up at this resort where the guy says, hey, the manager of the resort, I can tell you're a really nice family. Love you to death. You're amazing. We have this deserted beach where just only a few customers get to go to. We'd love for you to go to it. So they load up in the van with 5 other people, couples or with families, and they go to this beach and they get off. And the van's driven by M. Night Shyamalan. And they get onto the beach. And then they can't get back. If they try to get through the hole that they came through, because there's cliffs, they end up passing out and back on the beach. And then they find a dead body. Then it starts getting weirder and weirder and weirder as it goes. And what happens is that they begin to age rapidly. Their lives are reduced to a single day. So some get angry at each other. Some homicide happens. I don't want to give away too much. There's really no stars of note in my mind other than Rufus Sewell, who's an actor from several other things throughout time. But I just didn't care for this movie. It's so boring. And it's not on top of that. It's just awful. The screenplay is awful. The dialogue, the acting is so bad. The kids are better than the adults. And I don't know that it's the actor's fault. I'm going to blame it on M. Night. It's just written so bad. And I know it's him because it's the same clunky dialogue you get. And before you think I'm going to beat up on M. Night Shyamalan, that's not it, actually. I'm in the camp, and I know there's not a lot of us who enjoy most of his movies. In fact, I even liked Lady in the Water, and most of you hate it. I liked The Sixth Sense. I like that when it all went off the rails for me was The Happening. First of all, I'm not a Mark Wahlberg fan. Second of all, it just makes no sense as far as just the actions of the characters. Like John Leguizamo's character, and I'm not reviewing that movie now. I know I'm talking about old. But just like, I don't trust your ex-wife or whatever. So she's a person who'll let you down. The same kind of crap you hear here. Same clunky dialogue trying to explain stuff. That same last 10 minutes explain everything to you after and everybody goes to jail and this is what happened. I'm not going to tell you the twist ending because it's not really much of a twist. Other than it's a M. Night film, so people get their comeuppance whether they need it or not. Should you see Old? It's on HBO Max. If you're a huge M. Night fan, Sure, you've probably already seen it, but man, unless you were just an M. Night Shyamalan fan, do not see this. It's just dreadful. The acting is really so. I mean, it's hard to give a good performance when when you have to deliver such clunkers. Just terrible movie. So I cannot recommend old M. Night Shyamalan's old. Watch some of his earlier films, check out some stuff, but don't watch old. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.
And welcome back to the last few minutes of Scarefest Television. Another thing I will throw in, of course, Brandon's been busy with work and everything, as he explained at the beginning of the show. We have our paranormal lineup pretty well set. They're waiting on the banners, they're waiting on the contracts. We took a little different turn this year, without going into any great details, but I will tell you, we do have a paranormal lineup. Do things look good, Nicole, for the ghost hunt?
So, yes. So, I have an agency that's right down on Manchester, right behind the center, that really wants to work with us. They are huge, and their building is huge, and it's definitely haunted. It's in the historic district, and they want to work with us. I can't tell you who it is because we haven't done a contract.
Right.
But I think it'll work. And if not, Kentucky Theater has new owners. I will say this about them. They had a new changeover. And they would like to look into the opportunities for a ghost hunt with Kentucky Theater. Everyone wants a ghost hunt there. I know they do. But the hard thing is that they get in contracts with movies and they have to show them at certain times and so many times that I'm not a ghost hunter, but I've been on ghost hunts. It has to be quiet. There can't be this outside noise. So shutting it down in hours that celebrities will go and ghost hunt with you and do that, we can't really do it at theaters in that way. So even though they're opening it up to us, it'll be so late you won't have a celebrity. So it's a very tedious process with historic societies and all these shutdowns of who will let you ghost hunt. But this brewery on Manchester Street, it's huge with multiple levels. It's been in this like a building for a couple 100 years. There's probably ghosts there.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be good.
Okay. Haven't seen anything else come from the chat room, so do we have anything else we want to drop on the people tonight?
Let's see.
Brandon's back. Yay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on call this weekend.
Of course, I guess we are still planning on adding a few more celebrities to the axe throwing.
Oh yeah. So we haven't announced him yet, but Rob Mello's coming back this year, and he wants to do axe throwing.
Well, you just announced him, so.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Rob Mello's gonna be at Scarefest this year. Here's your.
Hey, in case anybody didn't know, sometimes on Scarefest Radio, when Brandon's really tired, he just slips things.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Brandon will eventually make a banner for Rob.
All right. And then we haven't even started on the bowling yet. We need to be thinking about that. We've got a lot of stuff to do, is what I'm saying, people. We got a lot of stuff still to get in the works before the Scarefest in October. But the important thing to remember is we're ahead of the curve of what we normally have done by now. So, and all these people ask it. I understand people wanting the photo ops, but I can remember not even having those things ready till a week or two before the convention. So the fact that we're already in the works on it.
Well, and that's the other thing with photo ops is basically how it works is celeb photo ops, since they handle everything and you pay for them with them, you get refunded through them if there's a cancellation or anything. They give me a Google Sheet, and I just go in and I plug in our folks and all of their information. And right now I've got that, I mean, pretty well up to date with the people that we have so far. But I also know if we release that without having Robert's photo ops on there, which we're still in talks about, my head will be laid on a pike outside of the show. So we're just waiting to get a few more things finalized, and then we will get the photo ops released. Most of it is all ready to go. We just
really it's just the groupings.
Yes.
And so the groupings are always what present the most problems. So the individual ops, I mean, those are fairly straightforward. But when you start looking at like adding and then like changing things around and then like different things present themselves, like if you guys have noticed, like, and I've noticed it, a lot of shows don't usually announce the photo ops until about 3 or 4 months out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I was hoping to have them out earlier and have everything done, but then some opportunities presented themselves with like some pretty cool groupings that I'm still pretty excited about. And we've just got to get all that lined out and then present it all as a group. Now we'll have add-ons like we did last year. You know, we're always adding all the way up to the show. Because, I mean, you have to take into account, like, you know, some people's schedules change. There'll be cancellations, things like that. We'll add celebrities. We always do. But the core groupings and everything will be in there. But we're still very actively booking. So, yeah, it does. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like threading a needle while getting a colonoscopy.
Aren't you normally asleep for colonoscopies?
Well, let's say if you were awake on this one.
I think that's something different.
Let's say you're 0.05% of the population that don't respond to pure anesthesia, and you're awake, and you decide to thread a needle while you're getting a colonoscopy. It doesn't happen. I'm using it as an analogy.
Well,
I thought they could. I thought that you could. I thought Katie Couric stayed awake during hers.
You can choose. No, you can choose. You can choose.
Okay.
You can choose to stay awake. I don't know why in the hell you would do that, but yeah. So let's say in my analogy, the person has decided to stay awake, and so a doily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's an article of business I'm aware of that we need to shut down these speaker applications here pretty soon. We've actually got a very nice, varied speaker set.
Let's say robust.
Robust.
We have a nice robust.
Yes. Robust would be a good. They're not all how to hunt ghost 101 things. They're everything. There's demonology. There's a thing about.
Dude, I recruited demonologists this year. It's like my favorite topic.
Well,
and so, I love demonology.
And
but we've got. I'm actually kind of really excited about. So I mean the media applications, like, you know, the volunteer base is looking really good. I mean the vendor booths are sold out, and I mean we're still fairly early before the show.
Yeah.
You know, the exciting thing about this year is that we've never been, I guess, this well, like everything is kind of coming together much earlier than what it normally does. Which,
well, and the thing is like it's everything, and you know we are like 25 deep on our vendor waiting list. We have agents reaching out to us left and right that, you know, there are certain things when you book people, certain people have guarantees, they have requirements in their contracts. And the trend that we're noticing is the show gets bigger, those guarantees are getting smaller. People will come for far less than they would normally ask for from an event. And so we're really right now especially getting inundated with requests for vendor space, celebrity space, speakers, entertainers, ticket holder upgrades, all sorts of things, which is phenomenal. And it's forecasting to be much bigger than last year. And last year was, I mean, everybody that was there, it was our best show, definitely. And it's really awesome to see that happening in real time right now. If you look from right now this year to this time last year, it's wow. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I mean the vendor stuff, Rachel has knocked that out of the park this year, and we actually I love the vendor selection that we've had, and our returning vendors are always going to switch it up. But this year especially, you're not going to see 4,000 t-shirt vendors. It's really interesting kind of stuff, and I as a fan, and this is no BS, I'm really excited. The artist pool, the authors. The folks that I've spoken to, and the folks that have signed up to come this year, I really think it's going to be something special. And I know I'm biased, but I like to be pretty transparent, and I call it how I see it. And I'm pretty excited about this year.
Yep.
All right, we've made it to the top of the hour. Everybody, this has been Scarefest Television. We will be back next week. Don't forget Smoky Mountain Fan Fest. We're going to be talking to Ty Shute next week. Chad and I will be sitting down with that gentleman. And the week after that, Brian Bremer is coming on. See you next week.